I say we just have fun.
Welcome to this new podcast, Dr. Paint. Hello, here we are. I don't know if you can see me. I'm Aster Joel, host of the Wax Wheel podcast, but today I wanted to introduce you to Emily Cook. She is a doctor and a painter, a professional of both fields. So, and she has helped me with my illustration journey.
Oh, you don't need any help.
Oh, I really, really do.
No.
So first off, tell us about your work as a doctor. What kind of a doctor are you?
I'm a family medicine doctor.
Okay.
And I'm board certified in obesity medicine as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So what does that entail?
It just entailed taking some classes, taking a big test, and then I've done nothing with it except for when I was practicing at in IHC, which I'm not practicing at anymore. I would try to help people get the certification to be able to like get their surgery if recommended for bariatric surgery.
Oh, okay.
Or help them with diet recommendations and medication
cool.
recommendations. It's changed a lot since we have a new medication on tirzepatide. If you don't know.
I
Okay.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Tell
All
me
right.
about it.
Blah, blah, blah. No, I don't need to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
It's boring, but we can talk about it another time.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll have that subject.
But it used to be just like the phentermine and the stimulants and stuff, and now we have the GLP ones. Woohoo! Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So tell us about what you're painting.
Today I decided to take one of my watercolors and make it larger, and it's gone through a lot of ugly stages, and it's still in a semi-ugly stage, but it'll become beautiful.
Okay, tell us about why you like ugly stages. Before we filmed, you said you liked them.
Okay,
just keep painting.
Okay. I like ugly stages because we all go through ugly stages.
Don't we all?
Yep.
It's called adolescence.
It's called middle age.
It's always an ugly stage.
Yeah. But I think with art, everyone gets so nervous that they're gonna mess up their pieces.
Yep.
Yes.
That's me.
That it's so nice to know that it can be ugly at any time, even the finished piece. And then guess what? You can just paint over it. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to learn that now. I'm having a hard time.
No, some of it, yes, and sometimes you need to leave it, but it's just refreshing to know that like anything in life, you can have a do-over, you can have another day, you can have gesso, and sometimes it's in the eye of the beholder, and sometimes we paint just for fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So ugly stages, it's okay. It's just for the joy of simply being, right? So what are you doing?
So I am trying to get some more parts of my book illustrated.
Well, tell us about your book.
Okay, so this is a picture book. I've mentioned it. I think I mentioned it in my interview with A.K. Hauser, and definitely in my interview with Kayana DeRocher, who's a professional illustrator.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's cool.
Okay. I need to look them up.
Well, they're on my channel.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I've been deficient. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Kayana's actually just came out last week, and A.K. Hauser's hasn't come out yet. No one knows about it yet.
Oh, so it's a secret.
It's a secret still.
Yeah.
I'm trying to draw this baby really cute, but you know what? When she was a baby, this is based on my daughter, and she was always going cross-eyed. So you know what?
Which is adorable, right?
They are so cute.
Yeah.
I don't know. Babies
don't go through ugly stages.
They're always cute.
Yes.
I guess sometimes when they're born, they're kind of skinny. They might look a little bit weird. Oh, here's a question. Let's talk about postpartum depression.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. So yeah, I had that a lot, especially since I was kind of stuck in Mexico and had like no help.
Oh.
And my hip was out of place.
Oh, painful.
And so I was crawling around the house, and I got pregnant right after, and I was crawling around the house pregnant after a 1-year-old. It was awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk about postpartum depression. Why is that a thing? I know your hormones are freaking out.
Yeah. I mean, there's several things, right? Yeah, it can be hormonal. It can be based on, different neurotransmitters. Like if you're predisposed for depression anyway, and you don't have enough serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, right?
Epinephrine. I thought that was like an EpiPen.
Well, it was, yes, and
Really?
epinephrine is given in an EpiPen, yes, to help with if you had an allergic reaction, and it says, hey, let's take care of that mast cell reaction and calm that all down. But yeah, so your neurotransmitters are also part of depression, right? So dopamine, huge one,
Okay.
serotonin, norepi, epinephrine is, adrenaline. So
Right.
it's more into norepinephrine,
Oh,
gabapentin.
cool.
And so let's say you have all of these beautiful hormones during pregnancy, like your estrogen and again, everything else that's stimulating you to keep the baby, yay, 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 yay. And then you have this huge withdrawal that says deliver baby, and oxytocin is another one. And again, this is kind of remote because I've been in practice, so I'm not at med school anymore. But then suddenly you're like, oh, I also now, I'm trying to produce milk, and then all of this is suddenly gone, right? And so yeah, you chemically are just in a different space. And so some women, they can have just postpartum blues, or it can go into that depression stage where it's just a little bit longer. And so sometimes it's not just enough to, grin and bear it or get sunlight or exercise or what it used to be. You do need maybe an antidepressant, which is something with serotonin in it, or norepinephrine and dopamine. So there's a few options, but it's not always forever, right? And cognitive behavioral therapy is another option too. So you talk to someone as well, get some help, get the right sleep, which is, that's, compounding it, right? And maybe if you don't have the family support, like you said, you're not with everybody that's knows you, and sounds like it was pretty hard where you were at.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I guess that's life, but yeah, it was awful. I hate it.
You guess it's life? No, it doesn't have to be life. That's hard. Yeah, but did you get support?
I moved to the US finally.
Yeah,
so that was nice. When those
did you get doctor support?
Well,
tell me about your experience.
Ah.
Can you share your experience, or do you not want to?
So I was diagnosed with depression.
Okay.
Which wasn't really surprising. And then I had to go back to Mexico, and that was even more depressing.
Yeah. Super hard, right?
Well, it was really rough because like there would be people, our house was on the corner and everything's closed in, right? Here,
Right.
people have yards. There, everyone has everything closed in.
Yeah.
So there's like a gate before you get to the house, and you can't see what's in people's yards or in their garage or anything.
Yeah.
So, which is like, I don't care that you can't see it, but everything's closed.
Right.
Well, we had a window that was facing the road, and people would throw in lit cigarettes sometimes.
Oh.
And then they would drop trash off right outside of our house. So we had this huge garbage heap, and then we got plaga, which we got mice and cockroaches everywhere because of all the garbage that we had to arrange for some politician who was running to clean that up.
Sheesh.
But that was nice when that was clean. And then another guy came over and dropped his dead cat off in the same spot. And
oh man.
Anyway, going out, there were drunk people because I was like the only white person within, I don't know how far. Drunk guys would try to hit on me, which was hard because in order to go to the grocery store, I had to walk there with my stroller and 2 babies. And so you'd have drunk guys. I got bitten by a dog. There's dogs everywhere, and some of them are big and they bark at you, and it's terrifying, and they bark at your kids. And then I was taking my son out once, and then this truck just clipped my stroller.
Oh.
I had the right of way. They don't care about that. And he, clipped my stroller and swore at us. So that was terrifying. And anyway, it was just awful. So I was stressed out there, but because we were waiting for my husband's papers to come through, which is its own awful story. U.S. immigration has some serious issues that they need to figure out. This is just becoming a really sad sob story.
And slightly political, which on our podcast, I don't know, but that's okay.
Well, you know what? I'm just telling the truth. You guys can take whatever you want, but this is what happened. Yeah, so
Really hard.
he was accused of being deported, which we could prove he was never illegally in the US. He had a tourist visa the whole time. He didn't overstay it or anything.
Yeah.
But because I think they were training new people, and so it was awful. It was awful. It was awful. I had to run in with the Mexican cartel because they were detaining my husband at the immigration place. They didn't tell me where to go. They said, "Oh, you can't enter the parking lot again," after they told me to leave. And then I had to go back into Mexico in the middle of the night by myself driving. And anyway, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Really scary.
It was really scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then I had to go back with kids. I'm pregnant and everything. And it just was not very nice. Where is this ear supposed to go? Is it too high up?
So the ear, I mean, cartoons are different, right? So ears go near the eye. But again,
is it too high? Should it be like here?
No, I think it's adorable, but this is your little babies are different and cartoons are different.
It looks like a weird ear for a baby.
So you look at your other drawings and I think it looks cute, but if you need to like make it teenier, like, you know.
It is big. It looks like an elf ear. It's not pointy.
I don't really think so.
This pen drawing looks way better than this pencil one. Man.
Are you being hard on yourself?
I am.
Or do you need
This is the ugliest stage.
So I'm putting shadows in, which is an ugly stage. And when you mix brown and blue, you get, or blue and like brownish, you get mud. But don't worry, guys, it will be okay.
Yes, tell us about this because you're using a scraper.
This is my paintbrush. It's a different type of, depending on the painting, which anyway, I use a scraper. Yes, for acrylic. That is all.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a spatula.
It is a spatula. It's my favorite. It's not a metal
spatula.
It's not. Cool. It's not a metal. I don't like the metal ones because they like needle your canvas. I like the rubber ones. Mm-hmm. They are my favorite. Yeah.
So are you worried because some of it? I mean,
no. I like when it pulls up,
okay.
And then I'm never worried because again, at the very end, I'll take some fine detail. My whole goal is to lay down and pull up, lay down, pull up, lay down, pull up, because I want all that contrast, because that's my favorite type of painting. And that's my style, which this is the first time I'm here, so nobody knows that. Yeah. Yay. It's gone through a lot of metamorphosis. Like on the video I did prior, it was like pretty colors, and then it went like, blah. Now it's like, ah.
So all of the paint on there is still wet.
No, acrylic dries really fast, but I've been using this medium matte and it keeps it kind of wet, a little bit more like an oil painting. So you can keep mixing. And then, but the beauty of acrylic is it dries. So then I could take a white and go all over it and you'd be like, there's nothing there, or, you know, and that's where we get some fun. If it was oil, I'd have to wait a long time. It would tick me off. They get upset because we're not talking to them. Yeah. So I know you asked about postpartum depression. The long and short of it, it's not, medicine is not for everyone, I'd like to point out, and situationally, sometimes things can't clear up, you know, like what sounds like what you were going through, right? Couldn't make it better without a change in place, huh?
Yeah, well, and I was alone there, you know.
Yeah.
My husband was at work all day and I didn't have anyone, so whatever.
It's not whatever. No,
it's over now, so it's okay.
It's can channel it in helping others or talking about it. I don't know. You can't. No. There's no making it better.
I have no advice. I have no advice for people struggling with it. Just like, you know what? Move in with your parents, I guess, because maybe they'll help. I don't know. That's probably horrible advice for a lot of people. I don't even feel like I'm handling it well now. I still am taking like the lightest little serotonin.
Yeah.
Just little one.
Yeah.
The minimum dosage. But even if I forget, then it really messes me up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of disheartening. It makes me feel like I'll never be back to normal.
why do you have to be with, I mean, I like to you asked like what are some of the things you talk to patients about a lot, and this is one thing. Before I was on, so I'm on Teladoc now, and so I don't get to talk about medication management like long term. I'm kind of like urgent care, but this is something I used to talk a lot with people about because they didn't want to be on something, and I kind of talk about it like it's a vitamin, like it's your vitamin serotonin. Like some people, it doesn't mean you're not normal or that there's something wrong with you. It just means that your brain needs a little more serotonin than maybe Bobby down the street, but there's nothing wrong with that.
I still don't like taking it.
Is it side effects or just because you have to rely on something?
I feel like I have to rely on something.
Sure.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Sure. Okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah, sure. Period. Okay.
I don't know, which probably is the wrong attitude. I don't even like taking vitamins.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way either. I mean, both are fine. I think there's multiple opinions. Nothing's wrong with any of them, right?
Well, and you know what? Some people do better with some things, and I don't do well with
medication.
Meds, I guess.
There's definitely new studies on like plant medicine and on, food as medicine, right?
See, I'm a lot more natural.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
what? No, well, I mean, if no one could figure out, we are related, but that's also familial, right? We have a family that didn't like that idea of not needing, but people on medication. Not sure if you were aware of that because I'm significantly older.
Oh, no, yeah, there's a lot of things I have no idea about. That's probably one of them.
Well, yeah, my mom will never take anything, even though she needs it desperately. She's someone who could benefit. How about I say that? Benefit from a medication. So I'm on something, and I've been since I had a baby. I wasn't on anything before because I felt the same way that you did. But then I went through med school and residency. And after residency, I had a baby in residency.
Oh gosh, that must be exhausting.
It was. So residency, they don't believe that you deserve time off to have a baby.
That's like, you'd think that as doctors, they'd be like, oh yeah, we understand the whole...
No, doctors don't think that you deserve anything for having any illness or shortness of human spirit. Like you are a machine. So if you even admit to being like, oh yeah, I do have anxiety or depression or postpartum depression, it's like, what? So I finally talked to my attending after I graduated, right before I was moving back to Utah. And I said, I have some dark thoughts sometimes. And I was married to someone that was really hard to be married to. I didn't know it. I mean, I wasn't divorced yet, and I wasn't going to be for like 4 more years. But she's like, oh, Emily, why didn't you tell me this? And again, I didn't want to take meds or anything, but I've been on the same med since then, and I would love not to take it, but every time I try to get off, people around me notice and are like, are you alive? Because I disappear into a cave of hermitness. I'm not making light of anything.
Oh, I don't feel like you are.
Related.
You know what? If we can't laugh about it a little bit, then life really is sad.
No, I mean, there's definitely, I think there's hope. There's like people that do. Again, I've talked, said something about plant-based medicine, and people can do cognitive behavioral therapy and exercise and food related stuff. And there are so many things that work for other people and different people. And that's the hope, is that they find what works best for them. But also getting a really good counselor or friends or support system is so important, right? And it's just hard if you don't have it with you at the time. Well, we dived into a very serious topic.
We did. And that's
we could have, started a little lighter, like antibiotics that we just talked about.
You guys get the serious talk now.
Yeah. Never again. Okay. No politics.
Well, okay.
Okay.
With
Oh,
something
okay.
like serotonin,
Yeah.
can you stop taking it eventually, or is it something that you have to take
Yeah,
forever?
yeah, the point is to try to stop taking it. I mean, I would never, so that's another great question we get, do you stop abruptly? Please don't. Please talk with someone and wean yourself off with
Okay,
the help
'cause-
of a physician or
That's-
you're a psychiatrist. And I'm not a psychiatrist. Remember, I'm family medicine. So family medicine is the jack of all trades. And I'm, a doctor of osteopathy. Which is, so board certified in osteopathy, we do the same thing as MDs, and so we have to take the same boards, 4 years med school, then residency. But psychiatry, yeah, you want a psychiatrist to tell you like how to get off your medication. You never want to just be like, oh yeah, okay, see you.
See,
This
that's
has
probably
been
been one of my
fun.
problems. Because I've been like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm gonna stop, and then like everything goes really weird.
Yes,
So, yeah, that's
yes.
probably a good thing
But
to know.
but yeah, if you wean off of it and then discuss like, okay, let's try maybe this supplement, or I'm not encouraging anything. This is not doctor advice. This is just, after discussion with a reputable, again, psychiatrist or family medicine or internal medicine doctor, sure, or OB, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to be on those medications when you're pregnant, because they do have risks for pregnancy. So blah, blah, right? I have these conversations with a lot of my good friends who are into more integrative or functional medicine, which is trying to get Western medicine and Eastern medicine combined. So it's not as, into the synthesized medications like serotonin uptake inhibitors, so they would want you not to do that like as your first option. They'd want like, oh, cognitive behavioral therapy, oh, your food, oh, supplements, right? Which is what people are trying to say. Oh, I'd rather get on that and not be always having to take a med.
Yeah. Life is hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have been doing this. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. This is watercolor paper, and I just drew on it with a pencil.
Great.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think sometimes people just don't want the pencil marks, but a lot of times you can erase them or cover them with enough watercolor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe you can try to cover them.
Or it's part of the appeal of the drawing. I like it.
I kind of like having it show through in my other ones. Let's see. Let's see. And then is it normal for your brushes to change colors?
Yeah, they get dyed with color.
Okay, good. Well then, I won't be worried about this one.
You can be obsessive and soak them all the time, but I found that doesn't help. Well, I hope I didn't offend you.
Oh, I'm not offended. It's really hard to offend me.
Okay.
No, I like the natural approach. I don't know. I guess I just have a distrust for medical people. Probably
I'm a doctor, though.
Let me say a bit more. I have some hearing loss. I have a hole in my right eardrum.
Yeah.
And I've had like 5 surgeries for it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
None of them ever worked.
All right.
And so knowing that my parents were stressing out trying to pay for it,
sure,
knowing that it never worked and that it was very painful and that people made fun of me at school
and
this and that.
Yeah.
It just makes me think, you know what? I think a lot of times
less is more.
Maybe I'm not going to listen to people who are making money from my illness,
Sure. Oh, well, our system is totally messed up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
that's kind of how I feel too.
That's why I'm on telehealth and not working with they who shall not be named in Utah. They're so unethical. Like, let's bill our patients and make money off of making them make choices with physicians that are told that they get incentives from recommending them these blah blah blah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I really like the whole, okay, I guess tell me if I'm crazy. Oh my gosh, my hand keeps like chipping off of this and falling onto me. Is that normal? Did I put too much water on these? Is that why they're all crackled?
Oh, that's just the type. Oh yeah, that's just the type. They're like travel watercolors.
These are travel ones.
But
Yes,
I have really
the other ones.
Yeah, you could use the other ones. Or I have the nice ones downstairs. Isla stole them. My daughter.
They're all crunching. Okay, we'll just put them back.
They're just really, and it's fine if they crunch. They're not supposed to last forever. They're just supposed to be for funsies.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going to do the unboxing for these, but you know what? I'll do it right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys are
unbox some art. Yeah, we love art supplies. We are
art supplies. Winsor and Newton.
But you were gonna say, oh, that's gonna take forever. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, this is great.
Yeah.
How do you open it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is it just hard to open?
Yeah. Muscles.
Okay. I'll do that. I got it.
Major muscles.
I totally got it.
Yeah.
My fingers are strong.
It might have tape on the side. Is that tape?
No, there's no tape.
Okay, just muscles. I would say we could bring mine up, but it says douche canoe on it and might offend somebody.
Okay, so I have been like, you know what? We make medicine so hard nowadays. I think it's a lot easier than it should be.
Totally.
People have been surviving for thousands of years.
Yeah. Why do you have to like call your primary care to say, hey, I'm actually bleeding from my bum hole. Can I see a GI doctor now? I'm like, okay, sorry about that. I like to be spicy when I talk about things, but it's so frustrating. I don't know how many people call me and I'm like, I'm teledoc. I can't actually get you in to see the person you need to see. You need to call primary care. And then they're like, I can't see my primary care for 6 weeks. I'm like, but you need to see them now. And then they're like, I'm like, this is so messed up. I completely agree. And I completely agree that some unnecessary things have been done. And so that it makes people not trust their doctors anymore. And then they're like, oh, I already looked this up. I know what I need. And then you're like, well, I did go to school for it. And I'm sorry that you've had the mistrust in the past. I wish you could trust me, but we don't have a relationship of trust anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
See, that makes a lot of sense.
And it is frustrating. I totally feel you, you know?
Yeah.
Which I want to know. I mean, I used to love that I knew my patients before I left where I was. I will not say, but I used to love that. I felt like if something was really going on, then we could talk it through and be like, well, this might be best for you. Let's really explore this option. Let's get you to the right people, see what's really wrong, you know, that kind of thing. Sigh. I'm not sure what the answer is though on how to change it.
Well, and I guess, I don't know, from what I was taking like alternate medicine classes in Mexico before everything went downhill.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was amazing because, you know, they talk about how there's more than one way to do things. And a lot of times, modern medicine is a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And, you know, alternate medicine is kind of more for more long-term solutions that are slower. And
but that's what their problems are right now. We have a lot of long-term chronic problems because we have a lot of chronic illness.
Yeah.
And people aren't, you know, well, we know we have, you know, obesity and we have diabetes and we have hypertension and heart disease and things that aren't just quick fixes. And so we need long-term solutions. We need lifestyle changes and health changes and food changes and social changes where we're not all isolated, where we talk to one another. Like some of the stuff that could have helped where you were at was socialization, people looking out for you, not dumping their garbage in your house. Not yet, you know, whistling at you.
And it probably would have helped if I had been more social, but
hey,
it was not.
It's hard to be social in a new environment. If your personality is kind of like, hello, I'm timid and this is a new place. I mean, it goes both ways, of course, but that's hard, right? Anyway. Deep, deep thoughts.
Very deep. So right now it looks like you're just kind of taking off a layer. Is that
No, I'm actually, I love that. That's so great you asked. I'm actually adding some of the darks back in because I sort of peeled them back with that bright blue I added. So I have to add some darks in because you cannot have a painting without shadow and light, right? My big problem in, so I worked, okay, backstory. So I graduated in art and then I went to jewelry school. And then I briefly, before I went to medical school, worked at this place called the Phoenix Art Group, which is hell. Okay. But they do reproduction art for like all the hotels and hospital, you know, like the big art pieces that you're like, oh, did you make this for Hobby Lobby? That kind of stuff. And okay. But it was briefly fun because you do learn some tricks. And one thing when I was there is that you learn how to make, you know, art quickly, unfortunately. But and one thing I would always do is make a lot of like paintings one color, like one zone. And the guy was always like, you need light and dark, Emily, light and dark. And so if ever I get too blah, I have to like go back to dark and back to light. So
okay.
Yeah.
With some of my little paintings, I noticed that they seem to do better if I put all the light stuff down first.
Yeah.
And do the dark. Is that the case for acrylics as well?
No, acrylic. So watercolor, yes. Oil, you kind of need like thin to thick, and watercolor, you definitely need to keep your lights light because it's really hard to get back once you lose that on watercolor because you only have, you can't. It's watercolor. It's like a one-time pass, right? Unless you use that highlighter.
That makes it scary. This is
That's
why it's
okay.
scary.
No, because you can always, yeah, anyway. But acrylic, again, like I said, once it's dry, you can go over it. And we have something called liquid gesso.
Okay.
Gesso is liquid canvas. And so I can always just cover the poop out of this with a white layer.
And it'll cover it.
Yep.
Enough
The only
so
thing
you
it
don't
won't
see
cover
the
is like divots. Like if I went crazy with like a lump, then
Oh,
you're
okay.
like, but we could sand it down. But who has the time for that? I mean, this lady, right? While I talk to patients, like, okay, don't mind me, I'm just sanding some stuff. So we always want to have interest too. You won't want it to be like a completely interestless space.
So what is interest?
Like the lines, you don't want, you know, you're like, oh, I put everything in the middle of the canvas, or oh, you know, my painting is all white and I have a dot in the center, unless you're trying to make a statement like I have a banana and a piece of masking tape over it squished on the wall, which sold for $1 million. Right. But
yeah.
So your art, you know, you gotta like look at the lines. And so sometimes I just keep dragging stuff through to say, oh, I'm not putting detail in yet because I'm still like, again, putting in light and dark and figuring out where I'm liking. It's not the same shape as this. So I don't want it to exactly look like that. Plus I never do the same thing. So I'm just trying to keep adding shapes and depth before I kind of put more, you know, details and etc. Don't worry. I know this is totally ugly. And so,
oh no, that's not what I'm saying.
I
just don't know any art terms.
Oh yeah. This is called I threw up on my canvas. And it's okay. I have a history of an eating disorder. I'm totally adept with that. We're just talking about all the things, okay?
So is this from a place in your memory?
Oh no, I was painting Sedona.
Okay, so were you painting the watercolor while you were there?
No, I was painting a picture of Sedona my way, and then I'm not going to paint another picture of Sedona because, you know, that's boring. So I mean, like sorry about that.
No, you're just
you keep that away. On it. It's okay. No, let's be honest. And now I'm like, let's be interesting and paint a picture of my picture. And so we'll get even more abstract.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Why not, right?
So do you usually paint
A picture of my picture? No.
Landscapes. Do you usually paint landscapes?
So, I like to paint flowers, people, and landscapes. I like to go between the three. I have sort of a different style. I have an ink style, acrylic style, and a watercolor style. And then I'm always searching for new ways because life is long and I should always be learning.
Gosh, that's so cool. Look at all those colors under there.
Exactly.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
So sometimes you find little jewel pieces.
Look. Oh, there's more. Wow, look at all that brown.
Yes, brown's not my favorite, but I get you. I get you.
And did you know that was under there? You put it under there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's so cool.
I mean, but did I know it would look like that precisely? Like, no, but like, that's the point of like doing more. All right.
Wow.
I did a commission for my friend of a beach, and I literally did, I think there was probably close to 100 to 200 layers. And I swear, at any time, I mean, I liked it, and then I ruined it. I liked it, I ruined it. I liked it, I ruined it. And that's like the name of my painting style. It's pretty frustrating.
I can see that because not
No, it's
I
okay.
do that too because I'm like, oh, you know what? Oh, this is great. This is getting good. Just a little more. And then it's too far and it's too much. And there's no going back.
I freaking want to change myself, but then at the very end, when it's finally done, I'm like, oh, and like I have a belief in the Heavenly Father. I mean, you know, I don't, again, we're just being us, so it doesn't matter who we offend or whatever, but I believe in Heavenly Father. And so whenever I'm done with it, I'm like, oh, he helped me get there. But I'm like, can't we just do this with a more like literally less paint? Like, can't, or like, is there a reason I have to be this big of a mess to get to places? Like, can't it just be like a pretty, like, I first put down the blue and then, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I ask him like, why do I have to be this way? Maybe you're the same. I don't know.
I just have a hard time. Well, I'm a writer, right?
Yeah.
And I now can say I'm a painter and an artist, but I'm a new one. So I have no advice to share there. But with books, it's like, is this change actually going to make it better? And then you make the change and you're like, oh, what about this other thing? And I just don't know when things are right. You know, it's hard making decisions.
It's hard. No, it totally is. And it's hard when people comment too, like later, because I'll put stuff on in social media and they'll be like, I liked it, like the hood. And you're like, I actually didn't really want your opinion. It's just kind of like,
I don't care what you think.
And like, I was just kind of like posting it to post it to not be alone in my head, but whatever, you can say what you want to say. I mean, I care, but I don't care. I care, but you know, I'm trying actively not to care.
Sorry, I'm moving around. There we go.
Oh.
So what made you want to paint in the first place?
Ketchup, stop, you strange bird. Okay, sorry. That's my dog.
You're fine. What made you want to paint in the first place?
I don't think I had a choice. I mean, I just did. I've always painted since I was little. I would go to classes with my mom, to like big naked drawing classes with my mom. Did you not know that?
No.
You're too young for the
I know like nothing.
Oh, really?
Let's just put it that way.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I've painted since I was itty bitty, and then we started doing, she would take me to like naked drawing classes when I was like 10, 9, 10, and then I would do these huge canvases. So I've been painting since forever. So I don't think it was ever like a choice, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start just painting. It was always like, I'm just gonna be an artist. And then I went to BYU for art. And then I decided to go to jewelry school. And then I just always had to do it. When I'm not painting, I'm unhappy. How about you? What made you want to start doing painting?
I've always just thought it was so cool. And it's just so, you see people painting, or you see those people at fairs or downtown, and they're like, oh, I'll draw your caricature for $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I want to do that. You see those crime shows, and they're like, oh, here, let me draw the perpetrator, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, and draw it, sketch it out, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
No, you can't.
So that's,
That was the thing, huh? We're just filming, guys. Just have to, you
okay,
know.
we can do an outro right
Okay.
now if you want.
Can they come in?
Okay, well, we have company over, so we are going to put a pause in this video and stay tuned, guys. We're going to make another one pretty soon. So check out Emily's social media and her art. This is one of the pieces you'll be able to look at
When it's
someday.
finished.
When it's
Yeah.
finished. It's not finished yet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Savage.
Isn't
Bye.
that fun?
It takes forever. Look at all these.
Yeah, I know.
It's taking
Good.
forever.